We're counting down the minutes to the first pitch of today's game.
Yes!
Who's in the starting lineup?
Come on, son, you got to get out there and take the mound. It's game time.
What does the skipper have to say?
It's an attitude, you got to be willing to defend, you got to be willing to base run, or you can't play here.
It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook with Tommy Wortz on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan.
Welcome into the leadoff show, live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Tommy Wortz here with you, getting you caught up on all things Brewers Pirates ahead of game number 1 today. It'll be Jose Quintana on the bump for Milwaukee, going up against the lefty Andrew Heaney of Pittsburgh. 6:40 first pitch today from American Family Field. Game number 118 on the season. Milwaukee Brewers on another heater, 9-game winning streak, going for 10 tonight. What's the lineup look like?
Looking up, and it is gone.
It's almost time for the first pitch. Let's see who's in today's starting lineups. Brought to you by Lakeland University. Experience it your way. Visit lakeland.edu. It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan.
Oh, yeah, you hear that? A little bit longer on the lineups today. Lakeland University, thank you so much for jumping a part of the leadoff show today. Let me run down the lineup for Pittsburgh first before we head over to Milwaukee. Yover Peguero is at first base, leading things off. Tommy Pham in left field will bat second. Brian Reynolds in right field will bat third. Nick Gonzalez at second base bats fourth today. Andrew McCutchen, the DH, will bat fifth. Alexander Canario in center field will bat sixth. Joey Bart, the catcher, bats seventh today. Jared Triolo at shortstop will bat eighth. Isaiah Kiner Falefa will bat ninth and play third base. Now for the Milwaukee Brewers, Bryce Terang leads things off. He's at second base. Isaac Collins in left field will bat second. William Contreras will bat third and play catcher. Christian Yelich is the DH, batting fourth. Andrew Vaughn at first base will bat fifth. Caleb Durbin at third base will bat sixth. Sal Frelick in right field bats seventh. Brandon Lockridge, the center fielder, batting eighth. Joey Ortiz, the shortstop, rounding things out. He is batting ninth for the Crew. As you heard there, starting lineups now brought to you by Lakeland University. Experience it your way. Yeah, thank you again to Lakeland University for being a part of the leadoff show all season long now for the rest of the season. And how can you not look forward with this Milwaukee Brewers team? This was maybe the best weekend of the season for Milwaukee. Yesterday, no different, as the Brewers continuing to dominate whenever they go out. And yesterday didn't even look like that at first. Let's go over it.
Did you miss the last game? Did you miss what was said after the last game? It's time to rewind. It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan.
It was Sean Manaea going up against Quinn Priester, and maybe what was Quinn Priester's worst game of the season, or at least in some time. He was due for one, it felt like, at this point. In the first inning, Mets struck right away after Francisco Lindor was hit by a pitch. Juan Soto would get him to single. After Lindor stole a base, he would single, bring home a run. Jeff McNeil would get Juan Soto home after he scored. It was 2-0. In the top part of the second, he gave up a leadoff homer to Brett Beatty. That would make it 3-0. A single from Ronnie Mauricio in the third made it 4-0. Cedric Mullins 5-0 in the top part of the fourth with a homer. Brewers are down 4-0. Well, in the bottom part of the fourth inning, William Contreras decided, hey, Brewers should get on the board too. He came up and gave the Brewers their first run of the ball game.
And he turns on the first pitch. On his way back, Nimmo, it's gone! Contreras homering in back-to-back games. Brewers on the board. Bernie hits the slide. It's 5-1 Mets. That's a guy the Brewers would love to get hot right there.
Oh, yeah, he would get hot, B.A. Don't you worry. FanDuel Sports Network on the call there. Brian Anderson, Vinny Rottino. Andrew Vaughn was up next. He would single after Blake Perkins strikes out and a fielder's choice with Andrew Monasterio. Danny Jansen would double. Andrew Monasterio is at third. That would make Brandon Lockridge come up. He drew a walk. He had a great game for having 0 hits. I promise you that. He saw 33 pitches in just 4 at-bats. Pat Murphy will talk about it later on as well. Bases were loaded for Joey Ortiz with 2 outs, and he did this.
On the ground, through for a base hit. Monasterio's in. Here comes Jansen. He will score. And Joey O delivers again.
Joey Ortiz leads Major League Baseball in most at-bats with the bases loaded, and he capitalizes on that one. Indeed, it would make it 5-3 in favor of the New York Mets. However, in the 6th, Pete Alonso would double. In the 5th, rather, Pete Alonso would double and bring home the 6th run for the New York Mets. Just as the Brewers chipped away, the Mets would add to it. It was 6-3. In the bottom part of the 5th, Isaac Collins, National League Player of the Week, by the way, now Isaac Collins, just recently discovered. He would single to start things off. Then they take out Sean Manaea to bring in Reed Garrett because they are concerned with how hot William Contreras has been off Sean Manaea in the game. Reed Garrett, not much better.
Down the right field line, got some barrel on it. That's deep. It is up and fair and out. Contreras is smoking hot right now. His 2nd home run of the game. His 3rd homer in his last 4 at-bats. 6-5 Mets.
Now the Brewers are back in action, right? Joey Ortiz makes it a 2-run game. Contreras just made it a 1-run game there. Well, then the offense kind of stalls, and not really much going on until the 8th inning when Bryce Terang would lead things off with a walk with Ryan Helsley pitching for New York. Sal Frelick would fly out, but Danny Jansen able to pick up another hit. Brandon Lockridge would strike out swinging. There's 2 outs, 2 on. Again, Joey Ortiz.
Ortiz a bouncer, and it's by Alonso. Here comes Terang, and we are tied. Joey O delivers in the clutch again.
And honestly, if you've been watching the Brewers all season long, you should have knew at that moment, game was over. Game was over. Brewers were definitely going to lock it down in the 9th. That's exactly what Nick Mears did, as he would give up a walk to Juan Soto, but pretty much had to pitch to the toughest part of the order. Francisco Alvarez pinch hitting, Francisco Lindor, Juan Soto, Brandon Nimmo, and Nick Mears. This guy from, wherever, coming from the Rockies last year, wasn't supposed to be anything, came in, shut it down in the top part of the 9th, a very underrated part of that game for Milwaukee. Oh, and then, by the way, the first batter at the bottom of the 9th, Isaac Collins.
Brewers have tied it up. Collins, fly ball, deep into right field. Isaac Collins, it is a walk-off home run. He's done it again. His first ever. And the Brewers have won their 9th straight game.
Highlights courtesy of FanDuel Sports Network. The Brewers win 7-6 over the New York Mets. They sweep the series against the New York Mets this weekend. That was actually Isaac Collins, not only his first career walk-off home run, that is his first career home run at American Family Field. That was Isaac Collins' 8th homer of the season. 7 of those home runs have been on the road. It was his first one that he hit in front of the home fans. The Brewers win streak now up to 9 games, improved to 73-44 on the year. It is the 8th walk-off victory for Milwaukee this season, the first one since Blake Perkins got the walk-off against Miami late in July. The Crew it was the third walk-off home run. Christian Yelich, Caleb Durbin had the first 2 of the season. The 5-run comeback was the largest this season by Milwaukee. Largest comeback victory by Milwaukee since overcoming an 8-run deficit versus Arizona last year in late September. After starting the season 2-20 in games where the opponent scored first, the Brewers have won 21 of the last 31 times an opponent has scored first, including every game against the New York Mets in that series. The win goes to Nick Mears. Edwin Diaz, the loss. Mears now 3-3 on the season. Milwaukee, what a game yesterday against the New York Mets.
That baby is a grand slam home run.
What was the big hit of the last game for the Crew? Who hit it? It's time for the drive of the game. It's the leadoff show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM. The Fan.
Brewers have tied it up. Collins, fly ball, deep into right field. Isaac Collins, it is a walk-off home run. He's done it again. His first ever. And the Brewers have won their 9th straight game.
Pandemonium ensues for Milwaukee after that. Isaac Collins, he spoke a couple of times to the media, but let's get his initial reaction with Sophia Minnaert right after the walk-off home run, his first career home run at American Family Field.
How do you describe what just happened?
Wortz. That was my first.
Isaac, you're leading off the inning. You're facing Edwin Diaz. He gets you down to 2 strikes. What is your approach?
He's got a good fastball. I was on the fastball and just caught the slider out front. That's all I can say. I don't know.
What are you feeling right now?
I'm having fun. I'm having a lot of fun, and so are all these guys in this clubhouse. It's amazing.
This team trailed 5-0 in the 4th inning. We got to get for it. Isaac, this team trailed 5-0 in the 4th inning. Murph calls you guys woodpeckers. How did you stay in this game and just battle back?
It's just taking it one pitch at a time. That's our team. That's who we are this year. Doesn't matter what the score is, what inning it is, who's on the mound. We're going to take this thing one pitch at a time and just peck like a woodpecker.
DL Hall picked you guys up 3 2/3 scoreless innings. How valuable was that to keep you guys in this game and give the offense a chance?
That was huge. That was huge from DL. We needed that from him, and he kept us in that game, like you said, and gave us a chance to win. That's all we can ask for as position players.
A 9-game winning streak. You had sold-out crowds here all weekend long. These fans, they battled through floods and crazy weather to be here for you guys. How much are you feeling the support of these fans and that they're on this ride with this team?
We feel it. We feel it, AmFam. We feel it. The energy this weekend was amazing. It felt like playoff baseball, and again, we feed off you guys. This is a great weekend.
All right, guys, the National League Rookie of the Year, or the Rookie of the Month, he's on an absolute heater in his first career walk-off, guys.
Oh, does Sophia Minnaert know the script? Oh, what a slip-up there. NL Rookie of the Year? Maybe after this stretch right now. 20 games for Isaac Collins, in which he is batting .387, has a .477 on-base percentage, a .600 slugging. He is 29 for his last 75 right now, has 9 extra base hits in that stretch, in which he has 5 doubles, a triple, and 3 homers. Also has 17 runs driven in right now in those 20 games as well. That is Isaac Collins, that audio courtesy of FanDuel Sports Network. It is the leadoff show live from the 1250 AM 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Coming up, we will have a ton of sound for you here that we still got to play before we break, so don't worry. But Austin Herdina over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook going to join us at 6 o'clock, 6:15. It'll be Drew Wagner as well. After the game, I mean, take your pick on who you want to talk about after this, right? I mean, first of all, Joey Ortiz, 2 for 4, 3 runs driven in, came up big twice. I mean, that first set of 2 RBIs with the bases loaded, 2 outs, everyone was expecting Joey Ortiz to not come up in that moment. I mean, you can say you weren't, but I'm sorry. He has received the most hate, and I have tried my best as a Joey Ortiz stan on this station to defend him. I have, because he's played amazing defense this whole time, and really his personality is all about this Milwaukee Brewers team. That's exactly who he is as a player. And Joey Ortiz, he came up massive earlier in the game, and then in the 8th inning to tie the game. He was phenomenal. I want to let you guys hear a little bit of Joey Ortiz, because if anyone is bought in on the Milwaukee Brewers, and maybe more specifically the power of friendship, it is the shortstop Joey Ortiz.
Joey, for Isaac to walk it off and for you guys to complete the biggest comeback of the season, how do you describe how you guys just stayed in it today?
I just feel like we kind of do that all season. Really, I mean, it doesn't matter what the score is. There's still innings left. The games still be played and still be won. So we just do what we do.
Where in that game did it feel to you like maybe we got this?
First inning. I mean, we know we can win any game no matter what the score is. And if we just compete and pass the bat and do the little things right, then we should be close enough to win the game.
How important is it to have that belief, though, in a team?
Very important. I mean, you got to believe you can win to win, so it's pretty important.
The emotion for you on those 2 hits you got, how satisfying the day was it just personally to come through in those spots?
It's good. I mean, of course you want to come through in every spot, and the game sometimes doesn't allow you, so to be able to come through today and, like I said, just pass the bat to the next guy and bring some runs in, especially, later in the game, it's cool.
Drew, how do you keep your confidence high to go up there against, 103?
It's just really competing. I mean, I know that the other 8 guys in the lineup are going to do the same thing, so I try and dig deep, try and dig in the box and make sure I'm ready to compete. It doesn't matter how hard we're throwing, just got to shorten up and try to put a good swing in the ball.
Joey, people kind of look at this team and wonder how the Brewers are doing this. What would you say is the reason that you guys are doing this?
Power of friendship. It's strong.
Miguel got to you?
Yeah.
There is Joey Ortiz speaking to the media after the game. You know what it is? Pat Murphy, it's his boxing history, right? I mean, that's what he's doing to this team right now. It's just you have to believe you can win before you can actually win a game. It's the same mindset you got to have going into a fight. You can't think, I'm going to get punched in the face and I'm going to lose. No, you have to think, I will punch them in the face and I will win. And he's got the entire team believing this right now. Joey Ortiz, who's batting .223, no slide, plays great defense too. I love Joey Ortiz. But he's got the confidence to say, yeah, we're going to win in the first inning. I feel that in the first inning. Joey Ortiz, I love what this guy brings. And I know some people are critical of his game, and a lot of people were thinking that at the deadline he should be nervous, he should be worried. Oh, Joey Ortiz isn't going to be on this team anymore. They need a guy like Joey Ortiz in there too to keep some glue together. He's sure at shortstop. And on top of that, 2 moments yesterday, not just 1, but 2 moments where he comes up massive for the Milwaukee Brewers in their victory yesterday over the New York Mets. Also, another big name here. Another one. DL Hall. Quinn Priester's final stat line, by the way. 4 1/3, 10 hits, 6 earned runs, a walk, just 2 strikeouts. He gave up as many homers. He had 2 homers given up in the game as well. After that, the Brewers pitching 4 2/3, 0 hits, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. DL Hall's line, 3 2/3, 0 hits, 0 runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. I mean, DL Hall, like sneaky MVP of that game. Maybe not everyone thinking that, but if you told anyone outside of the Brewers organization that, hey, your starter is going to go 4 1/3 and give up 6 and 10 hits. Who else thinks that they can use just 2 pitchers the rest of the game? The Brewers have a luxury with this pitching staff right now. There is so many guys that can do so many things, come in whenever. Nick Mears, he hasn't been a 9th inning guy all season. And he came in the 9th inning and shut things down at the toughest part of the order for the New York Mets. DL Hall, 3 2/3, 0 hits, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. He spoke after the game as well. Here is DL Hall after the victory.
What was your mindset, to come in and pick up as much length as you did today?
Just thinking about the bullpen and trying to help those guys out, and give our leverage guys as much, as many days off as I can. And obviously we had a few guys down today, so I just wanted to help the team, provide some length, and save some arms.
Do you kind of go into a day like this, expecting that you might need to stretch out a little bit and have kind of an outing like this?
Yeah, a little bit. Just when we have guys down, I feel like you kind of have an idea that you might have to cover some length. But just trying to get outs and help those guys rest.
I've been part of a team that's been on something like this.
I don't think so. No, maybe in the
How do you
middle
describe
league.
it? You're in the middle of it.
Yeah, it's fun. It makes it fun. Baseball is a fun game, but when you're winning like this, and not even just the wins, just how this clubhouse is, how these guys are, and just we show up every day ready to have fun and compete, and the competitive nature in this clubhouse is unmatched.
To the questions of how is this happening? What would you say?
I think it's just a byproduct of our willingness to prepare, and like Murph said, be different. You know what I mean? Just compete. We come here every day and we want to win today, and we just have done a good job of keeping that mindset.
As you're, focused on your own innings and you're putting up zeros, where did you feel like the momentum was shifting within the game?
I feel like with this team and this, like I said, all the players we have, it's like that momentum never leaves. It's like we know if we're down 5, we can still win this game, and I think that's why we are different, is because that momentum, no matter if the other team has it, we still feel like we can get it back and win the game. So it's just a matter of keeping that mindset.
What about that clutch hitting as well, from Joey to William to Isaac?
Incredible. Those guys, they've been doing it all year, and just to see them continue, this late in the year, it's like their first, it's like Isaac just got here, still trying to prove himself. Just everybody has a chip on their shoulder and wants to prove themselves, so it's fun to watch.
There is DL Hall after the game. It is the leadoff show. Tommy Wortz here with you, getting you caught up on all things Brewers Pirates. Ahead of Game 1 today from American Family Field. 6:40 first pitch from American Family Field today. DL Hall, season ERA is now down to 2.83 after that. 35 innings of work. It's his longest outing since last season. It is his 3rd appearance in which he has gone 3 2/3 or more and not allowed any runs this season. He is holding batters a 140 batting average against DL Hall this year. His whip is under 1. It's .97 currently right now. This guy might start next year for Milwaukee. You guys understand that? There is a scenario in which DL Hall is a starter for Milwaukee, and the Brewers have that luxury with him and Aaron Ashby, who can come out of the bullpen and be I believe it was the long leverage relief is what Pat Murphy called it, and is what Drew Wagner tells us all the time here on the leadoff show. And DL Hall has been phenomenal all season long. Great showing from DL Hall yesterday. How did the manager feel about it? Let's get to Pat Murphy. We've waited long enough. Here is Pat Murphy after the Brewers' 7-6 victory over the New York Mets yesterday.
How would I explain it? It's a bunch of great dudes pulling together, and they have a belief system. I think they understand what they want. And you look at the way they go after it. You look at the guys today. The first thing I was going to mention to you, we have a lot of stars of today's game that stood out. And, we played the 4 guys that sit on the bench a lot. Lockridge, right here in your box score, will be 0 for 3. He saw 33 pitches today. 33 pitches, 1 hitter. that changes games, and if you don't understand that, we'll meet after. Jansen's, one of his first games at home, I think, catching. Is that right? Is this his first game at home? First start at home, I think. But, catching people he's never seen before. And, he had a great day at the plate, on base 3 times, and really worked in between innings. I mean, he's got to be exhausted. Contreras, 2 more homers, 1 to left, 1 to right, another hit. And what can you say about Collins? He's been doing it for a while, but this kind of puts icing on the cake in terms of how he did it today. It's just incredible. I mentioned Siegler, what he did. Ortiz, again, coming up clutch, and then DL Hall, Mears. Those are not names that we're calling out every day, and against this type of team, of course, they're not playing their best. But, I mean, they showed why they're as good as they are. I mean, they're an explosive offensive team, and they have great pitching. So,
Mark, what was your commute like this morning? What did you expect out there today, knowing that it was going to be hard to get here? We were wondering if they were going to play the game.
I mean, it's the best environment. I've been here 10 years. That's the best environment that I've seen. I mean, it's the best environment. I don't know if we added seats or something. I don't really pay attention too much up there, but I don't know what we did, but it just seems louder, wilder. And I think it needs to continue because these guys need the support. They're young. Are we the youngest team? I know we're the youngest team of the teams that are still contending, and inexperienced, and throwaways, guys that have been DFA'd, guys that haven't, guys that have been getting their second chance. It's just beautiful. It's beautiful to see him do it. Priester wasn't sharp, for sure, but he deserves that, and he did hang in and get us, 13 outs or something like that. So that's important too. Our pen was used, and we didn't want to go too awfully deep in it, but and have to use guys 3 days in a row. So just a team win, just a team thing. I think if you don't love what's going on in there and you're part of this thing, then you need to check yourself, because this has been a lot of fun. The way these guys compete, the way they pull for each other, different guys,
There is the manager, Pat Murphy, speaking after the game. And I have one more note for you guys here before we head to our first break. The Brewers are looking to become the first team in the major leagues since 2019 to produce multiple winning streaks of 10 games in a season. That was the Astros who did that. The last team, to do it in the National League was the 2017 Dodgers. They did that as well. Both of those teams made it to the World Series. Now, the bad news is both those teams lost the World Series. But the 2019 Astros, 2017 Dodgers, that's the last time we have seen multiple 10-game winning streaks in a season. Both of those teams made it to the World Series. That's all I got. That's all I got for you. We can end the show right there, but plenty more to get to. Talking about that great weekend between the Brewers and the Mets. More great for the Brewers, obviously. We will get to the manager, Pat Murphy, speaking earlier today. We're going to go through our Building a Winner feature presented by Ironworkers Local 8 as well. Make sure that we take a look around what happened in the affiliated ball for sure, but honestly, how can you take your attention off the Major League Club right now with what they have going on in Milwaukee? It's the leadoff show. Tommy Wortz here with you live from the 1250 AM 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Line drive, base hit, down the left field line.
Let's see what the skipper has to say heading into today's game. Let's head to the Coach's Corner. It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM. The Fan.
Welcome back to the leadoff show. Tommy Wortz here with you. Getting you caught up all things Brewers Pirates. New series begins for Milwaukee after a successful weekend against the New York Mets. Let me get you the starting lineups here, brought to you by Lakeland University, before we continue on to hear what Pat Murphy had to say today ahead of Brewers Pirates Game 1. Bryce Terang will lead things off. He's at second base. Isaac Collins in left field will bat second. William Contreras, the catcher, will bat third. Christian Yelich, the DH today, bats fourth. Andrew Vaughn at first base will bat fifth. Caleb Durbin at third base will bat sixth. Sal Frelick in right field will bat seventh. Brandon Lockridge in center field will bat eighth. Joey Ortiz rounds things out. He will bat ninth for Milwaukee, plays shortstop, of course. One thing I really want to mention quickly about the lineup before we hear from the manager, Pat Murphy, today. By the way, in the next segment, we're going to do an updated top 30 over at MLB Pipeline of the Brewers' top prospects. They added in the draft picks this year. That you're going to be so excited to hear about these Brewers farm system again. But again, real quick, just about this lineup. Remember when Pat Murphy had the whole argument of why he had Bryce Terang batting fifth or Sal Frelick batting fifth this year? It was like, oh, they lead off an inning more than anyone else. Like, we want a guy with speed there. Like, no, you didn't have a guy like Andrew Vaughn in the lineup, and now he's batting fifth the last couple of days. Yeah, it makes sense that you want a little more pop at the 5 spot. If they did what they had to with the time frame. And I'll be honest, I noticed it immediately. Yeah, the 5 spot does lead off quite a bit compared to anywhere else in the lineup. But yeah, Pat, like, you were just justifying with what you had last time. I get it. I totally understand. But you want a guy with a little more pop for sure, batting in that 5 spot. And they have that now with Andrew Vaughn, who's just been unreal. Team is 23-4 since Andrew Vaughn joined the Major League Club. Did I say that correctly? 23-4 since Andrew Vaughn has been a part of the team. Pat Murphy spoke to the media earlier today. This audio courtesy of Drew Wagner. He'll join the show 6:15 today as well. We'll pick his brain a little more. But here is the manager, Pat Murphy, earlier today.
It's always trying to preserve Freddie. Jose is more used to that rest time, and Freddie, we thought, could use his workload's been so big, innings, pitches, all that. We wanted to push him back a day, give him an extra day.
Did Freddie ask for that or
No.
show any sign of that?
No.
Is that also about what's coming up after Thursday?
What do you mean after Thursday? You mean
Well, just the long stretch after Thursday.
I mean, exactly. I mean, all of this that we're doing when you have a 19 game stretch, is that what it is? 19 straight?
Yeah.
A day off?
19 and 18?
In 18 days.
In 18 days. So, and they're all opponents that are very capable. We've got to make sure everybody's in the best health as they can. So this little flip is one of the things we can do. We're going to be shorthanded a lot of the 19 days, but you can't worry about that. You just do what you got to do. No complaining or explaining. Soph coming strong right out of the box. Why did you do that? Damn you. There was a little spice behind it. It wasn't just normal Soph.
And that'll all be part of your report.
Yeah, that is true. Chastising me for dress code. What else did you chastise me for? My memory's down. Age every day.
Pancakes. Living.
Just for living.
That's what you said.
What else we got? Give me some questions.
Murph is, when might Jackson fit during that stretch?
He fits today, but he's not ready to go. But as soon as we can get him go through the protocol, we hopefully it's sooner than later. But I got to be honest, like there is a protocol that says it's probably late August. He's moving together pretty good, you know. So.
Is he just running out there now to do some field?
Every day there's a progression, off day, progression, couple days, off day. Very scientific.
Murph, we just got some good news. Isaac is National Player of the Week.
You know how I feel about that stuff. I'm really happy. Anything that divides our attention from tonight, I'm really happy for the young man. I love all the more he can get, more attention, the more accolades, that's all great, as long as it doesn't get in the way with the mission tonight of winning pitches and all that stuff I say all the time that you guys are bored with. You know what I mean? Like, we got to stay on that.
Speaking of the mission tonight, what can be dangerous for your team who's been so hot as of late, playing a team like the Pittsburgh Pirates who don't have as much to lose? They're gritty, they're grindy right now, and they're just hungry with a lot of young guys looking to prove themselves.
Yeah, I mean, it's a trap if you allow it to be. You know, any major league team. My 10-year-old said this to me. You know, you guys could lose to the Rockies. I'm like, we have lost to the Rockies, and it wasn't an upset. You know what I mean? It was what it is. Any team can beat any team in Major League Baseball. The good thing about tonight is we're very familiar with the Pirates. We know that they can beat us. So that's a dangerous thing. We know they've done well. Of all the teams in the league last year, we won the league by 10 games. The Pirates had the best record against us. You know what I mean? Of all those teams. And I don't know where they finished, but they weren't in contention. But they had the best record against us. So say no more. Everybody knows the Pirates are not afraid of us, and they're not going to roll over, and they got a lot to play for. There's a lot of individuals over there that are, you know, trying to finish out really good seasons or trying to prove themselves. Yeah, it's a major league game. You know, and, if you start worrying about that kind of stuff, you're not a great team. So great teams try to play the same. Like I tell people, you know, like you're climbing a mountain. As you get towards the top and it starts getting narrow, the steps are actually the same. But there's a lot more fear, there's a lot more risk, there's a lot more chance of sliding. And to prevent that, be very certain of your steps. Have your head down and watch out for any potholes or whatever you could run into. That's how I look at it.
Murph, how was the report on Rob Z yesterday, and what was the timeline you think of him coming back?
Yeah, threw the ball good. Yeah, I mean, we want to see him do a back-to-back, you know, so I think he'll spend a little more time on that. I think he's eligible to come off. I can't tell you the exact date, but we want to see a back-to-back for sure, because he's going to have to do that.
First, can I ask you about Deal Hall?
I don't know, why not?
I had a good chat with him, and he was talking about how he's not as stubborn as he used to be. He always was wanting to throw the ball by people, and he's kind of changed his thought process and the way he attacks hitters, and he's having a good year. From your standpoint, how would you kind of summarize the year that he's had and just kind of the mindset refresh, I guess, if you want to call it that he's had?
You know, like you look at yesterday's game, yesterday's outing. You know, he gave us 4 ups, you know, 3.1, 3.2, I don't know what it was. All right, that's unusual for a reliever, you know. And when you're down that much, everybody, you know, pitchers take that as mop-up innings. He took a very mature approach and kept us close. Then as we got closer, he kept his focus, pitched even better. I think it's one of his best outings of the year, and he's proven that, you know, he's very capable of helping us here in the next 45 games. I'm excited for him, and I've seen the same thing. I've seen him mature and understand that this is tough up here, man. It's a jungle. You got to be ready to, you know, perform every time. It doesn't matter the situation, you know. It doesn't matter what your role is. get outs, execute and get outs. If you think you can throw a fastball by somebody, ask the guy out here the other day, this weekend, throwing 103, and he had some rookie, hit it back 103,
You're saying that health is such a big thing for him too. This is the longest stretch he's been able to be with the team and be healthy, and you're starting to see the byproduct of that too. So health is key for anybody, but it seems like for him, he's not taking it for granted maybe like he used to.
I mean, it is. It's key for all pitchers. You know what I mean? There's such a volatility in the reliever market. It's like the guy you think is going to be great that comes back the next year or whatever. That's why depth is so important. And he didn't understand that always last year. He thought there was one role. I'm a starter. I need to be in there. And he's growing in the process. And we're not going to wait for guys to mature. Sometimes you get a small window, and if you don't mature in that time, then you might be out and you go pitch someplace else and you do great.
Sure.
But we need what we need. There's a little bit of ruthlessness in playing like this. We don't have time for like, oh, you'll be all right. It's kind of that's not our style.
Was Yelich available yesterday?
Yes. You're questioning my decisions, Adam.
What else is there?
But you really can't, can you? You're kind of paralyzed. You're what do you call that? Journalistically paralyzed right now because we didn't use them.
I think you're reading my mind. There's not much to read in there. Yeah. It was one of those where I didn't know if he was or wasn't.
No, he was available. There's a lot to that whole thing. I can take you through it, you know what I mean? But there's a lot to it. When to use him, when not to use him, what situation, and why, and then what that ramification would lead to the next move, So I was waiting for one situation to use him, and I told him, I'm not going to use you. He said to me, whatever you need.
Mm-hmm.
But it was an off day for him.
Is he doing good? Is he holding up? I mean, we're 100.
He's been awesome. If you guys knew like the underbelly of the whole thing, and I think you do, and I think I've expressed it, but he's just perfect for those guys in there. You know what I mean? Because he just doesn't try to lead. He just leads because he's really a sincere, giving person in his own way, and he doesn't try. He just is a really good person, and he really reaches out to those young guys. He sees what they need. He's just great, man. He's really great.
There is the manager, Pat Murphy, speaking to the media earlier today. That audio courtesy, again, of Drew Wagner, who'll join the show in about a half hour or so here, 6:15 on the leadoff show. Pirates, as Pat Murphy just said, they were 7-6 last season against Pittsburgh. They are 4-3 this season against Pittsburgh. Right now, Pirates at the bottom of the division, 23 games behind Milwaukee right now. Best record in baseball, 73-44. Pirates 51-68. Game 1 today, Jose Quintana versus Andrew Heaney. I am so excited to get to the next part of the show. We are going to go through our Building a Winner feature presented by Ironworkers Local 8. And we have an updated top 30 from MLB Pipeline, which has included the drafted rookies for Milwaukee. I can't wait. I cannot wait to get to it. We'll get to it next here on the Leadoff Show, live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
The key to building a winner in baseball is a strong minor league system. Who are the names we should know? How did they play in their last game? Ironworkers Local 8 brings you Building a Winner. Be a cowboy of the sky. Apply now at IWL8.org. It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 1057 FM, The Fan.
Yes, time for another Building a Winner feature presented by Ironworkers Local 8. Thanks again to Ironworkers Local 8 for being a part of the leadoff show all season long. Before we get to take a look around the minor leagues, though, however, let's get to our starting lineups presented by Lakeland University. Bryce Turang leading things off. He's at second base. Isaac Collins in left field will bat second. William Contreras, the catcher, will bat third. Christian Yelich, the DH, bats fourth today. Andrew Vaughn, the first baseman, will bat fifth. Caleb Durbin at third base will bat sixth. Sal Frelick in right field bats seventh today. Brandon Lockridge, the center fielder, will bat eighth. Joey Ortiz rounds things out. He is the shortstop, batting ninth.
Nashville Sounds.
Now, Nashville. We're going to go through these a little bit quicker because I am super excited to get to the top 30 here that we have now just gotten within the showtime here. Nashville loses yesterday 2-1 over the Jumbo Shrimp. Carlos Rodriguez had 6 strikeouts and 5 2/3. Allowed just 2 runs in the contest. That's kind of the highlight for sure. Off day, of course, as well for minor leagues, so no one to really talk about pitching today for any of these teams.
Biloxi Shuckers.
Biloxi, Blake Burke. Remember his name because we'll hear it again later on here in this segment. 1 for 3, another homered in back-to-back games to start with Biloxi here. They fell 3-2, however, over the Knoxville Smokies. With all the flooding yesterday, T-Rats, I'm sure they had some weather down there in Illinois and Peoria. They didn't get to play, so let's jump ahead to low A.
Carolina Mudcats.
Carolina, Josh Adamczewski had a pair of RBIs during yesterday's 8-3 win over Lynchburg. Adamczewski, remember, he's been back since July 18th. He has 7 multi-hit games in his 16 games since his return. He's been on a tear, batting .349, has a 1,000 OPS in the same stretch now, too. Adamczewski killing it right now for the Carolina Mudcats. Now, Dominican Summer League didn't play yesterday. They'll be back in action today. This is why you tune in right here. This is why. Updated prospect rankings in Major League Baseball after the draft now being implemented. Jesus Mate, the number 5 prospect in all of baseball, moves up from number 8. But that's not the exciting part. Luis Pena jumps up from 35 to 16 now after he's been killing it for now Wisconsin, but did for Carolina all year. I'm going to let you guys another secret. I was telling you there's not 35 prospects better than Luis Pena. There's not 15 prospects better than Luis Pena, but starting to get a little more recognition for sure, Luis Pena. Cooper Pratt drops a little bit. He was in the 30s down to 53, but they added in some rookies, and anyone who's haven't anything right now, Cooper Pratt drops down a little bit. Jefferson Cuero sticks at 65. Here's the one I can't wrap my head around. Logan Henderson, last time was ranked, I believe, in the 70s to a point, got up to like in the 80s. He's back down to 90 now here. He is the number 90 prospect. I don't get that. But Brewers, 5 top 100 prospects still. And an updated list here now for Milwaukee as well of their top 30 prospects in the organization. Andrew Fisher, who was their first round pick this season, is the number 6 prospect now in the Brewers organization. Interestingly enough, I didn't realize this necessarily until I started looking at it. He is the top sole lefty. Now, Jesus Mate bats switch, so he can bat lefty or righty. But Andrew Fisher is now the highest ranked left-handed batter in the Brewers organization, as he is with the rookie ball team now. Bishop Letson at 7, Luke Adams at 8, Braylon Payne, who was the previous high, is at 9. Marco Dingus doing great things as well with high A Wisconsin. Number 11, another new face, Brady Abel, their comp pick in the back end of the first round. He is listed as their number 11 prospect in the organization now, according to MLB Pipeline. Luis Lara at 12. Josh Adam Chesky, who we've been hearing a lot of, is at 13. J.D. Thompson, that's the last rookie that's in the top 20, pitching prospect out of Vanderbilt. He is 14th currently, right next to Bryce Message, Craig Yoho. Brock Wilkin falls a little down. Robert Gasser, still in the chamber here, guys. He is at number 18 with Eric Batanti, who has got to be the best 19th overall prospect. He just launched his 18th homer of the season, which leads the Carolina League, by the way, and he is the Brewers' 19th prospect. Tyson Harden at 20. Some of the other rookies to note, Frank Caron, pitcher is now at 26. Looking over here, that is the last name to look at for the top 30. Blake Burke, who I was just telling you about, Brewers' second-round pick from a year ago, he's 29th. Mike Bovey, who was in the top 10 at points during this season, is now at 27. And I know he struggled a little bit, but still. Guys, this is the deepest farm in baseball. Jose Anderson, who was having a great complex league, got called up to Carolina. That's where the list starts. He is 30 right now. It's hard to take your focus off of the major league team, but these guys in the chamber right here, I mean, this team, the Brewers window is massive right now. And maybe they can use that to get some guys in the future. But if we're just waiting and going to keep drafting and developing, Brewers need to write a book. Matt Arnold needs a book right now. It's amazing. This Building a Winner feature presented by Ironworkers Local 8, building Milwaukee's future one beam at a time. Wow. I mean, Jesus Mate, number 5 prospect in baseball. Luis Pena, number 16 prospect in baseball. They're going to come up together. It's going to be electric. Everyone's going to want to see it. Get to Appleton this week. They're in Appleton this week. Go watch them because they're not going to be there very long. They'll maybe start there next year. They're going to have a hot month, and then they're going to be gone. That's what's going to happen. Best farm in baseball, Milwaukee Brewers. Coming up, we're going to talk to Austin Herdina over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Get some of the best bets if you want to get any action on today's game between the Milwaukee Brewers and the Pittsburgh Pirates. 2 lefties on the bump today. Jose Quintana going up against Andrew Heaney. First pitch, 6:40 from American Family Field. It is the leadoff show. Tommy Wortz here with you live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
I'll see you later.
Let's get the latest on today's odds for the game. What's the best way to go? Let's check in with our expert from the Potawatomi Sportsbook to find out. It's the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Welcome back to the Leadoff Show. Tommy Wortz here with you, other side of the 6 o'clock hour now, live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM, The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Before we get over to Austin Herdina at the Potawatomi Sportsbook, let me run down the Brewers lineup today for you guys here again. Bryce Terang at second base will lead things off. Isaac Collins in left field will bat second. William Contreras, the catcher, will bat third. Christian Yelich, the DH, bats fourth. Andrew Vaughn at first base will bat fifth. Caleb Durbin, the third baseman, batting sixth. Sal Frelick in right field bats seventh. Brandon Lockridge in center field will bat eighth. Joey Ortiz, the shortstop, will bat ninth for the Crew. Joining the show now, as he does each and every day, he's the manager over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Takes as many vacations as he wants during the year. He is all-encompassing Austin Herdina over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook here. Austin, how we doing?
Doing pretty good. I got to get my rest and relaxation, just like everybody else.
Absolutely. No judgment, man. No judgment. I love a good vacation for sure. Austin, question for you before we talk Brewers here. We saw TKO, the parent company of the WWE and the UFC, some big news over it, right? I mean, the WWE moves over to Netflix, right? And now the UFC moving over to Paramount, and I think it said a select number of pay-per-views are going to be on CBS now. Is that good news, bad news for the Potawatomi Sportsbook?
I mean, it's another option for guests to be able to watch UFC and get into it, right? And
right.
The more people that are watching UFC and engaging with it and getting to know the fighters and want to bet on it, I mean, we can see some benefit from that too.
I also think there's got to be a difference on the cable bill, right? Like, I mean, based on it being pay-per-view versus like on broadcast television.
Yeah, we'll have to figure that out yet.
Okay. Okay.
You know, it just still, just breaking news today, and we need to figure out how that works with, business accounts and such.
Sure. Well, I was just curious. I know you and me both were fans of the sport, and that was some pretty big breaking news from TKO and the UFC today. Also, Austin, not breaking news. The Brewers just can't lose anymore, and the Brewers are on another 9-game winning streak. And yesterday, maybe the most impressive victory all season, Austin.
Yeah, it was really exciting. I had some friends and family at the game that said the atmosphere was one of the best atmospheres of a baseball game they've ever been to. Even with all the weather and problems people may have had getting to the game, it didn't slow people down. The stadium was still getting a lot of people in there. 9 in a row. It's hard to believe, but here we are for the third time this season. We've won like 8 or 9 in a row, and I mean, gosh, we're only a couple games. We're only a Pirate sweep away from some burgers.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, we're on Burger Watch again. It's officially Burger Watch when it gets to 9, right? The next series starting up. Austin Herdina over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook, joining the Leadoff Show, Sportsbook manager over there. We have the most popular bets courtesy of the Potawatomi Sportsbook today. Brewers favored -200 on the money line. -1.5 will get you plus money on the Brewers at +102. And the over-under set at 9 today, Austin. What are you looking at over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook to start a little parlay up for the people from the most popular bets?
Tommy, what do you think's been the most popular play today?
I mean, I know we're always looking to pick the Brewers on the money line, but you get plus money on -1.5. That gets me excited too.
You know what? We've had some people taking both. Brewers definitely, the favorite pick today. Going for 10 in a row, playing a Pirates team that has just not been very good this year. I like the Brewers to get the win. I'm not a big fan of how big of a price it is. I don't like laying that big of a price on a game like this.
So do you think they win by 2? Come on, that's plus money at 2.
All right, we're going to do that. We're going to go Brewers -1.5. That's our pick of the day today. And then I like both pitchers to get some strikeouts. Quintana over 3.5 and Andrew Heaney over 3.5. You put both those in there, it's plus 510.
Plus 510 over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook for Andrew Heaney plus over 3.5 strikeouts. Jose Quintana over 3.5 strikeouts. And the Brewers run line of minus 1.5. It pays plus 510, courtesy of the Potawatomi Sportsbook. If it doesn't hit, and the Brewers only win by 1, but everything else hits, it was my fault. You can go with Austin Herdina's original plan, which would be if the Brewers just win, it's plus 320, okay? We have both of those out there for you guys there. But I did peer pressure Austin into getting into minus 1.5 to get a little bit of extra bump there for Milwaukee in their parlay today. Well, Austin, what else is going down over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook people should know about? Shuttle back up and running today after yesterday's craziness?
Yep, we have 3 shuttles. They're all up and running today. We already had about like 46 by my last count. Wow. 46 people that are planning on using the shuttle right now. It's such a good deal. You come in and make a bet or eat or drink in our restaurant for as little as $5. Placing a bet, you're going to get a free ride over to the stadium and back. It starts 1 hour before game time, and then the last pickup coming back to Potawatomi is at 1 hour after the game. And then this weekend we have UFC pay-per-view, 319, I think the number is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it should be pretty good. We've taken quite a bit of bets already on the main event in that one. It's a big pay-per-view. A lot of people have coming in here. If you're looking at getting a reservation, you want to save your seat, get a table, go to Potawatomi.com. Go to the Sportsbook tab and then choose the red reservations button, and you can see the UFC event and choose your table that you'd like. And that money is a deposit towards food and beverage for your evening.
Yeah, I mean, just a phenomenal deal. Again, one more time, parlay for the people. Go place your $5 bet before you go to any game over at American Family Field. Place a $5 bet on the parlay here of Andrew Heaney over 3.5 strikeouts, Jose Quintana over 3.5 strikeouts, and Brewers on the run line of minus 1.5. You can go place a $5 bet. You're going to get a ride there. You're going to get a ride back, and then you're going to end up at the Potawatomi Casino and Sportsbook. That's going to be awesome as well. It is $25 you win if that parlay hits. $25.50 exactly. You could get paid to go to these Brewers games. You save all the money on the parking, use their shuttle services. I think it's just a phenomenal idea. And then again, if the night goes well, you're ended up at the Potawatomi Casino Sportsbook. It always ends up great if you end up over there too. Austin, thank you so much for jumping on today. Enjoy the rest of your night, and of course, go Brewers.
Thank you. Go Brewers.
There he is, Austin Herdina over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. One more time, his parlay for the people today. It is Andrew Heaney over 3.5 strikeouts, Jose Quintana over 3.5 strikeouts, and the Brewers run line of minus 1.5, so they got to win by 2 or more. That'll pay plus 510. If you are like, hey, I just want to see the Brewers win, it pays plus 320 over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook if the Brewers win by 1, okay? Because that's the only other alternative is if the Brewers just win by 1 and you're going over there, which, again, you get that insurance. All the Brewers have to do is win. But if the Brewers win by 2 or more, you'll get plus 200 more odds almost at the Potawatomi Sportsbook, so you can't complain about that either. Whenever Quintana pitches, it feels like we always get to this segment.
Nobody likes them.
Craig Counsell returning to American Family Field.
We all want to see them lose.
It's not my job to tell people how to feel about something, or even to figure it out. Let people feel how they want to feel, and I'm good with that, and I think it doesn't have to be all positive.
It's time to eye up the enemy for today's game. It's the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Eye on the enemy here. Again, Quintana and Heaney, both a lot of experience in the MLB. Plus, these teams face each other, right, during the season. Makes just the most sense. So let's take a look at how they've done against each other. Well, here against Jose Quintana, Tommy Pham is 6 for 22. He's taken him yard as well. He's batting .273. Andrew McCutchen is 8 for 26. Has also taken him yard. That is good for a .308 average. Brian Reynolds was switch hitter, so I'll bet right-handed a lot today. He's 4 for 18. It's a .222 batting average. It hasn't been a lot of great stuff against Jose Quintana. and he's terrorized the Brewers, it feels like, every time he goes out. Andrew Heaney has faced every single Brewers in the lineup today. Andrew Vaughn, 2 for 10. He has a homer. Caleb Durbin's 2 for 2. He's taken him yard as well. How about Joey Ortiz, who might be the best player of all time against Andrew Heaney, who is 3 for 5 with 3 homers off Andrew Heaney in his career. That is eye on the enemy today. Lockridge is 1 for 3. Looking for their first hit against Andrew Heaney in their career, Sal Frelick and Isaac Collins. The only 2 guys that do not have a hit off Andrew Heaney heading into today's game. Everyone else in the Brewers roster has a hit against them. Some other notable ones: Bryce Terang, 4 for 5. William Contreras, 3 for 6. But Joey Ortiz, man, 3 bombs off Andrew Heaney? I mean, come on. I don't even know if he'll get to him. Might not even get to him by the end of it if the Brewers lineup just keeps doing what they're doing. Coming up, we're going to talk to Drew Wagner, Forbes Sports. He's going to join us here on the other side, pick his brain a little bit about what's going down in Milwaukee tonight. It's the Leadoff Show, live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
What's the latest on the crew? Let's go inside the clubhouse with Drew Wagner of Forbes Sports on the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan. Inside the Clubhouse is brought to you by Focus Baseball. Sign your kids up now for July open tryouts at focusbaseball.com, ages 6 to 17.
Welcome back to the Leadoff Show. Tommy Wortz here with you, live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Before we get over to Drew Wagner, Forbes Sports, let me run down Milwaukee's lineup one last time for you guys here today. Bryce Terang will lead things off. He is the second baseman. Isaac Collins in left field will bat second. William Contreras, the catcher, will bat third. Christian Yelich, the DH, bats fourth today. Andrew Vaughn, the first baseman, batting fifth. Caleb Durbin, the third baseman, will bat sixth. Sal Frelick in right field bats seventh. Brandon Lockridge in center field bats eighth. Joey Ortiz rounds things out. He's the shortstop, batting ninth. Joining the show now, as he does each and every day, you can follow his work at Forbes Sports. Follow him on Twitter at @Andrew On the Fan Guest Hotline, it is Drew Wagner joining us here on the Leadoff Show. Mr. Wagner, how are we doing today on a Monday, my friend?
We're good. We played a game today in pregame with Murph.
Oh.
Never have I ever. We had to go around the room. Everyone had to say something that they've never done that other people might be shocked by. So what's your never have I ever?
Ooh, never have I ever. Okay. Never have I ever. I think if we stick to this station would be, I don't think I ever saw a Bucks game at the Bradley Center. I think I was too young and never really had that opportunity, and I never will now.
Yeah, mine was I never saw Star Wars.
Ooh, any of them? Really?
Any of them.
Okay, I could do that with a couple of series. Like, I've never seen a Fast and the Furious movie, and I'm sure that makes you mad.
Never saw those either.
Okay, all right. I'm glad we're on the same page. We had to put a finger down at the exact same time for that. I understand the game. I understand it. What was Murphy's? What did he say?
You know what? I can't remember now.
Okay. It seems like he's done everything, so I can't imagine he'd be very good at the game. Drew Wagner joining us here on the leadoff show. Drew, do we just say every day this is the best the Brewers have looked the day before at this point now? Because it sure seems like that every time we talk.
Pretty much rather, rinse, repeat. Always repeat, as Homer Simpson says.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same playbook. It's the same result every day. They may go about it in different ways, but I mean, it's just consistency. You know, it is literally going out and doing the same thing every single day.
Yeah, but Drew, on top of it, they just have
from your starters.
They get new guys every day, Drew. It's like the different guys are doing the same thing every day.
Yeah, it's like they just keep moving down the batting order. You know, it's uncanny. It defies explanation at this point. You know, they are just playing good all-around team baseball. They're fundamentally sound. They're doing the big things when they have to, but they just keep doing the little things. And that's how they're winning games.
Yeah, and Drew, we heard some of your sound here that you sent over. Thank you for that from the manager, Pat Murphy. I loved it when Sophia broke the news that Isaac Collins had won NL Player of the Week. And Murphy quickly corrects and said, I'm happy for the kid, but I don't like that stuff. It takes away from the message that we are trying to implement, which is every day, right? And today, what are you going to do today? And I understand it's baseball, but Drew, we never heard anything like that. It felt like out of council, and it really never was at least hammered into the brain of these players that don't look down the road, don't look at what you've done. It is all about today with the Milwaukee Brewers.
Yeah, so all you ever heard out of Craig Counsell is a lot of hemming, hawing, muttering, stammering.
Yeah.
Great. There's a great supercut out there of his post game yesterday. I can't remember who put it out on Twitter, but it's just a thing of beauty. It is true art.
I remember those.
It's there's a lot of people saying, here's Murph crapping and Collins Cheerios, but a lot of it was meant in jest. But he's got a point. Like, he's trying to keep these guys fixated, not on the bigger picture, but on the immediate thing. On the task that's in front of them, of what they have to do right now. What you did yesterday was great, but it has no impact on what you have to do today. And what you have to do tomorrow doesn't matter because you have something to do before then. And keeping that mindset, I think, just as much as the talent, as the fundamentals, as the skills, and all that stuff. That's why the Brewers are what they are, because they just have this tunnel vision on, all right, let's go out there and play this game and see what happens.
Well, Drew, and we're joined by Drew Wagner here, Forbes Sports. Follow him on Twitter at @ByAndrewWagner. Drew, I feel like anyone who is saying this about Murphy, he's crapping in Collins Cheerios, like, they've never been in a locker room. They've never been in a clubhouse right now. Because is there a single soul who thinks that Pat Murphy doesn't care, doesn't love any specific player in the clubhouse right now? Because every single day we heard it from Blake Perkins, right? Power of friendship. Joey Ortiz yesterday, power of friendship, right? Isaac Collins, the clubhouse, we do this. Like, all these guys are bought in on the clubhouse right now, and it's being led from Murphy down.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, he has set a tone in there. There's a culture in there. There's a camaraderie in there. There's a brotherhood in there. Any way you want to describe it.
Do you think it's a benefit with like a guy like Yelich, who really is very soft-mannered, doesn't really speak out that loud too, where, that's a perfect guy to be at it? We were hearing it a little bit in that, but elaborate on what Murphy had said kind of about Yelich being a leader too, because he does seem like the perfect leader for this group of guys too at that.
Yeah, he is. We talked about actually each of the last 2 days. He's a guy that just goes out there and does his work. He's not flashy. He's not jumpy like Willie Adames was. He's not as boisterous and energetic like that, but he doesn't have to be. He leads by example. His work ethic sets a tone. His dedication to the craft, all that stuff. And young guys, they see that. This is why they bring so many minor league guys over to spring training early on. So many of those top prospects that are not going to see the big league club. But yeah, they're going to come over. They might get some innings in Cactus League play. But these guys are brought over not just so the coaches can see what they have, but so these young guys can see how guys like Christian Yelich go about their business, how they prepare for the game, how they prepare their body, how they work on their skills and their craft. Like, he is the guy that you want to emulate because he just shows up for work every day and goes about the job. And when someone needs to be talked to, he handles it. Mark told a great story today about Joey Ortiz, and Ortiz had been struggling. There was a game a couple of weeks ago where he just, kind of missed like pitches that were right over the plate and came back to the dugout to grab his stuff to go out for defense. And Yelich just walked up and said, "Hey, you got this. You're going to be all right. Just stick with it." And that meant something to Ortiz. Now, is that the impetus behind his recent hot streak? Probably not. But it's knowing the right moment to go and talk to someone when they need it, knowing the right moment to give them space, that kind of thing. Christian Yelich is a true leader.
Yeah, and it seems like it too. And Ortiz didn't come up just big once yesterday. He came up big twice yesterday. And Murphy had said it on the pitching side of things where, we're not patient, right, in pregame today, or where we're not really saying like, oh, we'll let you go. Like with the situation that they have going on, like you need to be ready and you need to be able to take on as many roles and as different, circumstances. When he was talking about DL Hall, when he was going from being a starter to being a reliever. But like with Joey Ortiz, maybe it's the lack of options they had there, and maybe Terang really derails their plan, but they've had to be patient with him a lot this year, Drew, and it finally looks like it's paying off for Milwaukee.
Yeah, he's had a couple of stretches where he heated up a little bit and then kind of came back to earth. What's different about this one and gives you the idea that it's going to last is his pitch selection is improving. His swing decisions are improving. Now, there's still a long way for him to go.
Sure.
He's still far from where they need him to be, but he's getting better at it, and that's just a good sign. That's a sign that, all right, he's identified it, he's working on it, he's improving it, and as he improves that skill, the results are going to improve as well.
One more thing here about someone in the lineup, Contreras, right? Contreras has the monster day yesterday, and just looking at the lineup today, he's back in the lineup, and he's back catching with a lefty on the mound, and I was curious if anyone asked, where Jansen might be in the lineup, because I understand Contreras loves to catch every day and he loves to play as much every day, but Jansen, he's had some success against lefties this season, maybe not necessarily with the Brewers in his very limited time, but is it that much of a benefit to have Contreras behind the plate as much as possible where he can't take a break from back there, even just get his bat back in, right? Let him DH today against the lefty. Did anyone ask about that? And what might your thoughts be on it?
We didn't ask him about that. I think the thought was he's been working with Quintana all season. Quintana's been going through a stretch lately where he's not quite himself. I think you want that familiarity. You want that comfort back there. Some guys just work better with certain catchers and don't like the change very much. And sometimes you stick with that. And I think that probably has something to do with it back there. Contreras has been a very good defensive catcher for them. He had a very good day at the plate yesterday. You want him to build on that momentum. You want him to keep going. So I think it kind of just all fell into place.
Okay, well, makes sense. Totally get it. I mean, you got to keep his bat in the lineup after that as well. Drew, is this a trap series right now? Is everyone just looking ahead to burgers? Is that going to be a problem, or you think this team has it under control?
Well, it's like Murph said today. Any series can be a trap series. Any team can beat any other team in Major League Baseball. It all depends on what your mindset is going into it. If you're if you're going into this game looking at a sweep, chances are you're going to get your ass handed to you. It's just how it goes. If you go in there focused on you have to win tonight, because again, can't win 3 till you win 2, can't win 2 till you win 1. It could be a trap series. the Pirates have played better baseball of late. They're young, they're hungry, they're scrappy, they want to knock these guys down. You have to be prepared for that. You have to bring your A game. And Murph pointed something out last year that not a lot of people, take into account. The Brewers won the division by 10 games last year, right? You look at the team in the division that did the best against the Brewers, it was the Pittsburgh Pirates. So, I think they know not to take care of, because the way that Murph said it is the Brewers know that the Pirates know that they can beat the Brewers. And you have to go in there prepared for that.
Yeah, and that's a dangerous thought as well. One last question here, actually about the other team more than I do. I don't think I've ever asked a question like this. Andrew McCutchen was like one of my favorite players just growing up, and he was always stuck in Pittsburgh. And then he came to Milwaukee, and I really felt like we didn't know much or hear much about him because he was only here for that little time. Do you have any McCutchen memories of like just a good dude or any good stories, something like that?
It's a pretty good dude. I mean, I only had the one season with him.
Yeah.
It was kind of a quiet dude. He wasn't the Andrew McCutchen that you remember.
Yeah.
When he kind of fallen off a little bit, he was still trying to find himself, but he was a good clubhouse presence. He was still with the media. Just a guy kind of like Yelich that went about and did his job every day.
Well, just was curious. He was awesome, and when he was a Brewer, I was rooting for him. Obviously, knew he wasn't going to be there a long time, and now back with the Pittsburgh Pirates. So good for McCutchen. He is a Pirate forever, obviously. Drew, thank you so much. Have a good rest of your day. Enjoy it. We'll do it again tomorrow.
Sounds good.
There he is, Drew Wagner on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law Offices. One call. That's all. One more thing to get to before we get out of here. Let's do it.
How does the Crew win today's game? Who needs to step up? Let's find out with the keys to the game. It's the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM. The Fan.
Keys to the game. How we always close out every leadoff show. Would love to see Quintana get back to beginning of the year. Quintana. In his first 4 starts with Milwaukee, he allowed 1 or less earned run and went 5 innings in all of those games. He was 4-0 to start, right? Since then, really hasn't had a stretch like that. And he hasn't had a start in which he had 1 earned run or less since July 9th. Went up against the Dodgers in that. He's in a stretch right now where it hasn't been ideal, but he's gotten a lot of run support over that time as well. They put up 16 runs 2 starts ago for Quintana. But let's see Quintana and Contreras on the same page today. Another vintage Jose Quintana start. Let's get him 6 innings again, 1 or less run. That's keys to the game. So again, it just turned into like what I want to see. But it's my show. I can do that. That's going to do it for us here on the Leadoff Show. Make sure you guys check us out wherever you guys get your podcasts, whether that's Spotify, Apple Podcasts. You can now watch all of your favorite shows on The Fan on YouTube. The YouTube page is booming right now. You got to go check it out. There's over 500 different videos on there already. 500, yes. It's been up for a little over a month. I think it was like June 20th is the first video got popped up. There's 500 videos up there right now you can go watch, including earlier today when the Isaac Collins joined Steve Sparky Pfeiffer for the day after he has the walk-off homer. Go back and listen to that. Mike Wall, former Packers offensive lineman, he was on today. Or if you want to hear more from Drew Wagner, he gets up there all the time. He was on the Mason Crosby show earlier today. That is up there for you to watch as well. That's going to do it for us here at the Fan. Brewers tomorrow, 6:40 first pitch. We'll have another 90-minute pregame show for you. Freddie Peralta versus Paul Skeens. But today it is Jose Quintana going up against Andrew Heaney. First pitch just about 10 minutes away, 6:40 from American Family Field. Live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Don't forget, send them home.